Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom from our studios at number 5. The defunct Interministerial Committee in the country. Following the collapse of a three-story
and is a humble person, a good ambassador.
Workers' Union of TUC Professor Frimpong Boateng says he owes no one an apology for the things presented in the said report. Speaking on Accra-based UTV, Professor Frimpong Boateng says he needed to be honest. Citi News' presidential correspondent Samiri Afe has more.
After weeks of public discussion on a 37-page report, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng says he stands by every detail captured in the report, which was presented to the Chief of Staff in the year 2021. Speaking for the first time after a series of reactions from persons implicated in the report, Professor Frimpong Boateng says he needed to be truthful and honest to the president on the fight against illegal mining. He maintains he was truthful in his report.
And I'm obia, and I'm so obia. Bunipa, I'm so, and I'm afraid. And he may see a yaw. Now, and then man, I hire a conomono. Set reported there for the 4 years, no. Oh, trade report will be, presented your cabinet retreat, Council of State. Your presentation, mom, and you may now. And see, Jamie Kano, and yet. Sabe nkontompa say bibi nemo se sana nipa be fa no say there and you fine say me say obi adwen but the me can say I had to be honest with the president and nemo na e ha na mfi say ye tetu anu a we to me akọ no.
Professor Frimpong Boateng further rejected allegations that his son was heavily involved in Galamsey but failed to mention him in his report. According to him, the Commission on Human Rights and Restorative Justice (CHRAJ) had investigated these allegations and cleared his son of any wrongdoing.
Now, one person has died after being trapped under rubble following the collapse of a three-story building at Nanakrom in the Denton municipality in Accra. This incident comes days after a similar occurrence in Medina, also in the Greater Accra region. The recent collapse is reported to have occurred on Thursday, leaving one person with injuries. Well, my colleague Bevelyn London was at the scene earlier and has more in the story. Bevelyn, what more can you tell us?
Barely a week after a three-story building collapsed at Medina in Accra, another three-story building has collapsed at Nanakrom in the Denton municipality, also in Accra. The incident is reported to have occurred on Thursday at about 1 p.m. There were two people who were said to have been working at the time of the incident. One person, sensing danger, jumped to save his life. The other, however, could not do same. Here are some eyewitnesses speaking to Citi News.
Say 12 something na okudidi eduma oye na osamo traso ntem say after one no say bibi ekoso na debra no na ohu inu no hu say no second from no catch and say oh bibi ekoso nti won si na won't run away, say, Ebiasana, be to me and Cotom. They ban near fast, but not the net, or no, if you know, so fear or but in why ha, until they benefit on a day. O crack a cry at the local hospital. Until ya one FFS say, Bibi air coso, until my we are could do, and a do by a chair. Until 6 years, somebody by better also. Until Yamado 8:30 to 9, and Yamado Yehuna ye.
Sɛ ba na sa na mesin for mu si dan na dan collapse ya ebomo ho.
Lucky. Na obiara nso no adwuma wo bia no ebia no na wotumi ewu sɛ wonye otidi dim so a ne nyame aden agyew nti no na ni amba sɛ ebituma to no but accident so ebeba anya aba wie
you fear the tear and say ye nti eba ha no na sɛ accident esi wa no sɛ da na bu na unfortunately no me ni petu labor baako ana offense mason no nti labor no de ohurija njampo ye and the car mason no but laborers will pry kakra fine yeah but the hospital like mason the benefiting one aduna up to now me can only you know like free offense I didn't share bottle ma police for the neko
on pa kuna we free mo no obedi be say
oh in fact we share the age obenya be 50-55 that way
going to me
yeah but we share the in some mu there but we hear body na over but the way I don't know a time I can't remember.
After about 20 hours of search for the person who was trapped under the rubble, officials from NADMO, police, fire service and military finally found the body and was immediately transferred to the police hospital morgue. The MC for the area, Alexander Ninoy Edumwa, shared with Citi News what his outfit had gathered at the time Citi News got to the scene.
As at about 5-6 o'clock, we realized that the equipment that we had was not enough to do the thing. So I made calls to the military. We got 48 Regiment. We got the National Dog Academy to bring us sniffer dogs. And then they came with the military police and a whole team with their own equipment. And they came to join forces. And they've worked throughout the night. Excavating the portions over there. This morning at about 8:40 thereabouts, the body was sighted. So we stopped all machine work and the machine excavation, and then we went to manual, and people used the shovels and the pickups to recoup the body. And we've handed it over to the police. We'll continue with the work around here and have investigations done to find out what the cause is for this collapse that we see.
The MC added that in collaboration with his engineers, they would conduct a structural integrity test on all projects within the municipality.
My engineers, my works engineer, the fiscal planning officer and co were here. We had a brief meeting. We've decided that we're going to actually get a look at all the buildings that are around. Look at the structural integrity of those buildings that have been standing there for long periods. We have data on everybody who has the necessary documentation, and I will be able to follow up. Because you can see, even around in this particular enclave, quite a number of buildings that are still under construction. What is the status? So yes, we will look at all those things. And then when these things happen, you will be fishing out for other information. Anything that you see, get us the information, because we will not be everywhere at the same time. At the same time, to people, to the neighbors around who see other things, are free to inform the Assembly about these things.
He reiterated calls by the Ghana Institution of Engineering urging people to only employ the services of professionals in the construction of their project.
The procedure that is in the books is the fact that if you're going to build, you need professionals to assist you. You need to get the necessary documentations right. You need to put in the necessary applications and get the necessary permissions to be able to do those things. So it continues unabated. It's the enforcement of these things that have to be stepped up so that we'll be able to get these things going well. And like you said, if there's any advice I'll give to people, make sure that your investment doesn't go waste. I mean, there are force majeures that, things that are nature's this thing. How we could find out that something caved in under the ground. Would it be somebody's fault? No, but it has probably led to something that has brought about the loss of somebody's life.
Reporting for Citi News, Bevelyn Langdon.
In more stories, about 300 people have been displaced and over 100 buildings, including schools, government structures such as the Electoral Commission's office in Bimbela in the Nanumba North Municipality in the northern region, destroyed following a rainstorm that hit the area on Thursday. There's more in the following report by our northern regional correspondent, Mohammed Aminu Alabira.
Following a rainstorm that hit Bimbela Township on Thursday, a considerable number of residents have been affected. Over 60 homes, schools, and other government structures like the Municipal Fire Service Office, the Electoral Commission Office, and other structures were completely destroyed by the rainstorm. The tower of a radio station, Beat FM in Bimbela, was also affected. The tower of the station fell on a nearby building, but luckily, there were no people inside. The Municipal Chief Executive for Nanumba North Municipality, together with officials of National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, on Friday, went around to assess the extent of damage caused. The Municipal Chief Executive, Honorable Abdullah Yaqub, has been speaking to Citi News about the unfortunate happening.
For private homes, I must say that over 60 private homes have been affected. And we've just started the assessment. NADMO have started the assessment this morning. They've just come to inform me that they will continue. But in fact, it's been devastating. Some private homes have been completely destroyed. The roof off and then the walls all collapsed. We have areas like Dangbe, Masaka, Bayangwaya, and then Kakuhi electoral area. These are areas that have been hardly hit. And unfortunately, it didn't even rain, just drizzled, and it's only the Bimbela Township that has been affected. At least over 200, because you know some households are there, have over 20-30 people living in it. And if you have a whole structure demolished, see, it is a difficult situation for us. And we have the Electoral Commission, educational institutions. You know, schools are in session. So how are we coming to handle it? We have to fix them immediately. And our Electoral Commission, we are yet to assess the damage that has been caused, whether some of the registers are affected. Yes, even the immigration office, the roof also got affected. So we have a problem on our hands to solve.
He appealed to NGOs, NADMO, and other benevolent organizations and individuals to come to the aid of residents, saying the assembly for now is handicapped.
Assembly, currently we are financially constrained, and if we are coming to say that we want to use the little resources that we have, we will not be able to assist the people adequately. And our priority now is looking at how to put back the schools that have been ripped off so that the children can continue their education. So that we look at the other private homes, what can be done to assist them. Because these are trying moments. You know, this is predominantly an agricultural community. Majority of those whose houses are affected are into agric. This is the time they are preparing their lands to go into planting their maize and other dishes, and this has also come. So
for now
putting out with friends and relatives. You know, schools are in session. We could have housed some of them in schools, but schools are also in session. So what they are doing is that they are putting out with family and friends, and we are also, after the assessment is done, we know actual number of people who are displaced, and then to see what can be done to assist them.
Some of the affected persons made a passionate appeal for support.
Family members having their new structures ripped off, some having structures that they are staying in being ripped off. In fact, we went to assess or take a look at the affected homes, and in fact, it's an eyesore. Families have been affected, left homeless. Yes, so for the whole of today, actually from the morning up to now, people have no rest. Some are working with carpenter's tool to get their roofs back. Other homes are damaged to an extent that they cannot do anything for now, and will have to stay away for several, because homes being broken down totally. They have to stay away and then search for resources somewhere to put the structures back on track. This is all that has happened. It all happened yesterday in the evening, somewhere around 5, thereabout, closer to 6 p.m. Yes, when the rain started. Yes, a lot of homes have been affected. Actually, with what has happened, we cannot rule out philanthropists and then government to step in and then support individuals and then homes that have been affected, because people have been affected a lot. People have been affected a lot, actually. Some homes totally pulled down, and you know what it takes to put up a building this time. So government should step in, actually, and then support people, and then benevolent societies and organizations who are willing to support can equally come in and then help people get their abodes put in place again.
Form of rain to destroy our appliance bin, and already the whole station was blackout. When the incident happened, it affected 2 extension posts. The electrical post that leads electricity supply into our premises is also affected. So currently, as we are speaking, almost everything concerning fire, the gadgets are all down. And even to charge our phones, if we want to charge our phones and let's get to a nearby community, currently the whole Bimbla municipality is blackout due to the storm.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV with me, Kweku Ediama Ansah. Still to come. NPP members of parliament and regional executives in the Ashanti region who are supporting Dr. Bawumia's presidential bid pledge to ensure he gets 85% endorsement from all delegates. We'll have details of this and other stories all coming up shortly. Do stay.
Pepsodent is aware that globally, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. That's why by giving her Pepsodent, you're not only protecting her teeth, but also helping her grow up and thrive at every stage of her life with a healthy and confident smile, so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because every smile matters.
My name is Tina. I am a person living with HIV. I got to know my HIV status after I gave birth and lost the child because of HIV. In those days, prevention of mother-to-child transmission services had low patronage due to fear and stigmatization. Today, many HIV-positive women have delivered negative children. I follow the guidelines and take my HIV medicine called ARVs every day, as prescribed by my doctor. This makes me strong and healthy, and also prevent me from passing HIV onto any future child. Please avail yourself for PMTCT services when pregnant. It is the only way to ensure you do not pass the HIV onto your baby during birth or pregnancy. If you have tested for HIV recently and it was negative, test again when pregnant. to ensure baby and mother are well. Let us work together to have an HIV-free generation.
You're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Let's do some politics now, because the governing New Patriotic Party members of Parliament, constituency chairmen and regional executives in the Ashanti region who are supporting the Vice President's bid to lead the NPP to the 2024 elections are pledging to ensure that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia secures 85% endorsement from delegates in the region during the party's upcoming presidential primaries. Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani has been monitoring this and reports.
A meeting dubbed First DMB Operational Meeting for Zonal Coordinators and held at Efijasi in the Ashanti region brought together some members of Parliament, zonal coordinators and their secretaries, as well as constituency chairmen and regional executives. The meeting aimed at mapping out strategies that will make it possible for the Vice President to lead the NPP in the 2024 general elections. Among the members of Parliament present at the meeting were the Majority Leader in Parliament, Osei Mensah Bonsu, Deputy Trade and Industry Minister and MP for Inshaeso, Stephen Amwa, Deputy Local Government Minister and MP for Offenso North, Collison Tim, Member of Parliament for Efijasi Asokori, Dr. Eyu Efiwe, who hosted the meeting at his residence, tells Citi News the Vice President has the backing of majority of NPP MPs and will be the best person to lead the party.
Vice President is not getting less than 85%. You understand? And he's a humble person from the North, diligent person. He's a good ambassador of a Northern character in the North in Ghana. I've always had the admiration that people from North have a sense of kindness and sense of humility. Regardless of what the NDC will say, that he led the manifesto. He's a chairman of the manifesto committee, and for that matter, he's going to speak and lead the party. But when you vote into power, unfortunately, the chairman of the manifesto committee or the leader of the manifesto's action is not the one who is in the seat of affairs. He's not the president. So they can attack him with what he said. But inshallah, when we help Bawumia to be there, the voters, if I say amazing is an understatement, because the Ashanti region in history, longitudinal research is showing that Edubuahin had majority of parliamentary candidates for 92, not MPs, parliamentary candidates in Ashanti region. He had Ashanti region, he won. President Kufuor got majority of MPs in parliament in Ashanti region, he won. Nanado got a lot of MPs in parliament, he got Ashanti region, he won. Dr. Bawumia has majority of MPs in parliament and he has majority of Ashantis and he has won the elections. That is the truth.
He also denied assertions that the MPs are being coerced to endorse the candidature of the Vice President.
There's nothing like that. There's not. It's a liberation movement. It's just the willingness, the sheer willingness of members and the understanding of party chairmen and also of the constituents. Because in Efijasi Asokori, where you are, I am always warned by my constituents to go for Bawumia. I've been warned severally by elders and even chiefs
Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ntubosiakun, says Dr. Bawumia stands tall among the other aspirants, hence their support.
I'm glad to hear that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has declared his intention to pray or to have mercy from God and men to lead our party. I pray for everybody, but the way I have seen Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia one, I can say it's a very well organized and it's very peaceful. So I'm happy about how things are going.
The group says it has begun extensive engagements with delegates ahead of the primaries.
Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Ashanti Region.
Now, from the camp of the NPP, let's head to the camp of the NDC, as tonight on the Citi Newsroom, we throw a spotlight on the Ningo Prampram constituency in the Greater Accra region ahead of the party's parliamentary primaries. The constituency, which has over the years become a hotspot for the party, will have two contenders racing for the parliamentary bid in the May 13 primaries. Citi News' Akosia Otre has been to the community and has been exploring the chances of both candidates and has come through with the following report.
It's that big election for the National Democratic Congress come May 13, 2023. Now, one of the hotspots for this particular election is the Ningo Prampram constituency, where I'm currently stationed. Now, this constituency comprises of Afienya, Dawenya, Prampram, Ningo, Depchako, other areas in this particular constituency. Now, what makes this constituency a hotspot is that two strong individuals are contesting this particular seat. I'm talking about the Member of Parliament for the constituency, Samnati George, and Michael Kwete Tete are contesting this particular seat. In the last election in 2019, we saw these two same individuals contest the seat, where Sam George won the seat by 7 votes. Now, this means that this election is really going to be a tough one for the two individuals, because for the contender, you'd have to do much more to win the seat. Today, we are here to gauge the mood of the constituency and also to speak to some of the delegates to find out who their preferred candidate is.
Well, the two candidates are all gentlemen of the land. Personally, I will be going, or I'm rooting for Sam George. Yeah, because the incumbent to go for another term again. Because there are different perspectives to all the delegates. Personally, I am also of the view that we need experience. We need someone who is much educated, someone who knows the job. Sam George has been in Parliament for 2 terms. This is going to be his 3rd term. But if you look at the work he's done so far and the effort he's pushing through, not all MPs have the guts to be able to do what he has done so far.
I don't think it is reality in the life of the opponent. This is because for us, or personally, I am seeing him not to be doing things so as he comes stronger, as you put it. Because if you look at even the current structure or how he's doing his campaign, realize that perhaps he's still thinking that the delegate he used or he had during 2019 are the same delegates he's having.
The main contender in this election is Michael Kweti Tete. He, during the last election, lost by just 7 votes. And this time around, he's confident that he's going to win the election hands down. He believes that the Ningo Pram constituency needs a new face.
I'm not scared of anybody. When it comes to the delegates in Ningo Pram, I am telling you right now that he's not going to get the ignored again. I've done a lot of them already. I've been able to provide motorbikes for the party. I've been able to support the Ghana Police Service. I've been able to provide jobs in Ningo Pram.
We'll also hear from the incumbent member of parliament for the Ningo Pram constituency in the person of Sam Nati George. He has been touting his achievements in the last 6 years and also have been telling us what he's doing in the constituency, for which reason he believes that the delegates will give him another chance.
They've made it clear that they're going with experience over experiment. They've made it clear that they want a pair of hands that's trusted, that's safe. And there will be a question in their minds if there was a credible alternative. But the alternative is empty. So they're certain that I remain the only credible choice. You know, when people make that allusion to say the last time it was 7 votes, if 7 votes was just 7 votes, he should have had it. The fact that he didn't get it shows that he didn't win the election. Whether you lose by 1 or by 1,000, you've lost. The past 4 years, I have not been sleeping. Saturday is a week and a day away, or barely a week away. And so I'm extremely confident that the work we've done and the mindset of the delegates from engaging with them, the delegates are not interested in who's coming to offer them money or who's coming to offer them goodies or make promises. The delegates are minded that anybody who is just coming and making gargantuan promises, we are all reeling under the effect of a man who came bearing promises and making huge promises, who promised 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam, 1 constituency, $1 million, 1 wache, 1 wele, all kinds of promises, and has not been able to deliver on any of them. You know, so we are minded about politicians who come sugar-tongued with promises.
The electoral college has been expanded. We are having a lot of people coming in, new entrants who has also gotten the opportunity to cast their vote on that day. So my only advice to them is that everybody has to keep calm. We are all members of the party. We are one family. Just that we are going into an internal elections. When you read on the platform, some of the things you read on the platform, you say that, wow. Is that
which platform?
Some of our
social media
platforms where people speak against each other. I don't think it is the best. We all have to come down and make sure that we go through this election peacefully, so that when, at the end of the day, whoever emerges as victorious, we all come together, rally behind the person, and make sure that we win both the presidential and the parliamentary for the party, so that at the end of the day, we will have a victory in 2024.
The two aspirants are hoping to win that election come May 13, 2023. But for the National Democratic Congress in the constituency, they want a violent-free election. Reporting for Citi News from Ningo Pram here in Accra, my name is Akusia Otre.
So we'll still stay with the NDC's presidential and parliamentary elections, which will be happening on May 13, 2023. And Citi News' Latif Mahama reports that the MP for Wa Central is battling a stiff competition from his 3-time main contender, who vows to unseat this time around. He says that though the Wa Central legislator, Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelpo, is campaigning on his track record and parliamentary experience, it appears the youth are resonating with the change mantra of his arch-rival, Alhaji Hudu Mukhtari. There's more in this report.
The Wa Central parliamentary seat has since 2004
been occupied by Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpu. The lawmaker, who is currently the ranking member of Parliament's Committee on Mines and Energy, served in various capacities during the Mills Mahama administrations. Dr. Pelpu has, in the past 2 decades, defied his critics to win the West Central parliamentary slot, in spite of stiff internal opposition, especially during parliamentary primaries and the general elections. He faced his worst parliamentary elections opposition in 2016, when he moved from his over 6,000 victory margin in the previous elections to win with a little over 500 votes. The West Central lawmaker is seeking his 5th parliamentary bid, but with stiff opposition from no less a person than his 3-time contender, Alhaji Hudu Mukhtari.
Not only to do the many things we did for the people, create water for them, avenues for water for them, but now to build the people. These people here we will turn our attention to them, create value for them, let them achieve the best we can in getting involved in NDC and getting involved in building their own lives.
However, to his main opponent, the assertion of Dr. Pelpu isn't enough reason to maintain him in office. Alhaji Hudu Mukhtari says the dwindling fortunes of the NDC in the West Central constituency are attributable to the inefficiencies of Dr. Pelpu.
It is obvious that change is coming. It is obvious that the constituents want change. And so let us not lose this opportunity. Let us make sure that we get the change to build the West Central that we want. People want a West Central that will grow far bigger than it is now.
Unlike previous NDC parliamentary primaries in the West Central constituency, the leadership of the party are sharply divided between the incumbent and his main contender. Dr. Pelpu, however, says he is unfazed by his competitors. The leadership of the NDC in the region is, however, warning the 2 leading contenders to conduct their campaigns with utmost civility to avoid divisions among their followers. A representative of the party elders, speaking after receiving a brand new Toyota pickup and a set of chairs from Alhaji Hudu Mukhtari, said they will not hesitate to call any group or individual to order if found to be engaging in unsavory commentary ahead of their primaries.
Our appeal is that you should respect each other as a team, respect other contestants. Let us be mindful of the sensibilities of all other aspirants, but that does not mean that you should not give the message that you have, a message that will let the delegates vote for whoever you want to lead this party in the West Central to do that for us. By asking you to go on with decorum, it does not mean that you should not send that message, which will let the delegates know that you are the ones. That one we can do without insults.
2 other aspirants, Abubakar Mutiu Rahman and Wahid Bampuri, are also seeking to unseat the incumbent Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpu.
Reporting for Citi News, my name is Latif Mahama.
Let's stay in the camp of the NDC because the party has described as unfortunate assaults on a Dabon FM journalist by a former communicator of the party, Hadi Pazar. Hadi Pazar, in a viral video, was seen storming the studio of Dabon Radio with 1 other person and verbally and physically assaulting the host, Sadiq Gariba. Speaking to Citi News, the Deputy General Secretary of the party, Mustafa Bandi, says the party will liaise with its regional branch to offer support to the Dabon FM journalist.
The Dagbon FM journalist Sadiq Gariba during a live program has drawn widespread condemnation from various stakeholders as it happened on World Press Freedom Day. President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kwabnajumfor, for instance, has condemned the attack while stating that the association will not countenance such acts on journalists in the country under his leadership. The Ministry of Information also in a statement called on the Ghana Police Service and relevant agencies to investigate and prosecute persons who allegedly assaulted the radio presenter Sadiq Gariba. Speaking to Citi News on the matter, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, described the act as unfortunate, pledging the party's support to the Dagbang FM journalist.
I'm not the one that's in the position to direct what should be done. If you ask me what I will do, I will fly to Tamale and go and see the victim, because the police, the NDC have a very good relationship with journalists. And we cannot do politics without journalists. In fact, it's our duty to protect journalists. So if there was a break in a relationship to the extent that one must be attacked, we must take responsibility, if it is true, and mitigate the situation. So that is what I can say. But as to whether should be subjected to law or not is not my business. I believe that my bosses, if they have heard, will raise the issues today and then we'll deal with it. Now that it has become a matter to be discussed, we will liaise with our regional officers and then we'll reach out to the victim and understand the issue for ourselves. So beyond whether it's a crime or not, we must repair the relationship between us and the victim involved.
Meanwhile, Mustafa Gbande says the party is unperturbed by whoever emerges as the flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party for the 2024 general elections. He was reacting to Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia declaring his intention to contest the NPP primary.
We have been able to tell them by evidence that where we are is not out of a natural phenomenon. It's not about Ukraine war. It's not about COVID. We have asked them to also tell us what the effect of Sudan is on Ghana. They have not come to say that one. So we know clearly that among the 10 people or 11 people contesting, they have all been part of this government that have failed. They are on the conveyor belt that is turning them around. So we'll see which one they will choose. And when they choose, it's about Ghanaians to decide. We have floating voters who will take a decision to swing governance. We believe that at this point in time of the NDC's organization, we are in a position to come to power. We have a good story to tell. We have a message to Ghanaians. That is what we are focused on.
A political marketing strategist with the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Stephen Brima Mahama, has advised Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia to begin engaging NPP delegates rather than relying on MPs' endorsements.
Well, he needs to get out there and really get to meet the people one-on-one and let them know what went wrong and what can be done right if he's given the opportunity. Now, if the delegates begin to believe what the reason he assigns for what went wrong, then they may want to consider him.
This is still the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still ahead. Ghana Mine Workers Union of TUC to embark on a nationwide protest on Tuesday, May 9, 2023, following the failure of Sanon Asogli Ghana Limited to reinstate local union executives who work with the company. Details coming up shortly. Please to stay.
Is the neighborhood I'm having my twins.
The very reason why I took it for us. See, the price is very good and it's spacious to contain all of us.
Alphabet City. Now I'm a landlord. I don't pay rent. And my Airbnb business is booming.
To me, Pamini, bank and I'm not say Alphabet City. The pension pay me 20%. The payment plan, I want to share my
Just say, very smooth.
This is a healthy place to raise our families and creating peace. Come on, be my neighbor.
Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Alphabet City is a classy and peaceful gated community in Sakumono. We have 24/7 top-notch security and high-quality access roads. We have 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, 3 bedrooms and 3 washrooms with boys' quarters. We have 3 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, all with beautiful kitchens and kitchenettes. Call Alphabet City on 0240-111119 or 05044999999. Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Sweet, sweet mothers, how could we ever forget you? This year, on Mother's Day, we plan to do quite the festive opposite. What better way to show out for our beloved matriarchs than an entire evening dedicated to celebrating the phenomenon that is motherhood. Mama's boys and mama's girls, for all their love and sacrifices, here comes the ultimate Mother's Day gift. Picture this: a flavorous Ghanaian spread with countless mouth-watering treats, just like Mama's cooking. A glitzy dance floor serenaded by Mama's favorite tunes, just for Mama to boogie. And a stunningly intricate portrait of Mama, just to remind Mama how truly beautiful she is. Join us on Sunday, the 14th of May 2023 at 4 p.m. for an enchanting evening of appreciation and enjoyment for our feminine support systems. The venue is at the City Gardens, number 5, Ola Hansen Lane, Tesano, and the rate is a cool 350 Ghana cedis. It's going to be an evening of Ghanaian food, dance, and the celebration of motherhood. So book now and secure a seat for Mama at the Portrait of Mama Mother's Day dinner now. For more enquiries, call 020-5973-973. The Portrait of Mama Mother's Day dinner is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and is sponsored by Dano Milk and Tasty Tom.
You're welcome back. Now, the Ghana Mine Workers Union of TUC has served notice that it will, on Tuesday, May 9, 2023, embark on a nationwide protest. The labor action is on the back of the failure of the Sanon Asogli Ghana Limited to reinstate local union executives who happened to be workers in the company. There's more in this report filed by Citi News' Kennedy Chumasi and read to you by Nana Tufo-Boateng.
The Trades Union Congress, TUC, is demanding the immediate reinstatement of 3 of their local union leaders whose appointments have been terminated by Sanon Asogli Ghana Limited. According to the union, the reason for the termination of the appointments of their local leaders was because they joined the Ghana Mine Workers Union, which is under the Trades Union Congress. However, Sanon Asogli, in a statement, refuted the claims and explained that the workers were dismissed because they adopted what it described as a wrong procedure and approach in the company. Reacting to this, the General Secretary of the union, Abdul Mumin Bana, described Sanon Asogli's reaction as absurd.
The issues that have been raised in their press statement, unfortunately, targeted at misleading the discerning public. And Ghanaians across the country recognize one thing, that we have fundamental rights. Those fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution of Ghana. The government must be interested in dealing with this matter. We all understand that the economic situation at the moment is not the best. And if government cannot protect our economic rights, as for our basic rights, including our right to freedom of association and collective bargaining, must be protected. That, in my view, the government must be able to do. And the government must stand up to this matter and ensure that the right things are done. Sunan Asogli must respect our laws, and Sunan Asogli must learn to work with unions now and into the future.
In view of this, the union says it will embark on a nationwide demonstration on Tuesday, May 9, to drum home their demands.
Has outlined what the roadmap is. And so on the 9th of May, Tuesday, at 11 a.m., the TUC and all its 23 affiliate unions, and let me stress that, we are converging in Pong, precisely around where the company operates, to demonstrate to the company and to the entire world that the rights of workers must be respected. They are non-negotiable. These rights are non-negotiable, and these rights must be respected at all costs. And so these 3 union leaders who were terminated or dismissed unfairly, they must be reinstated. They just have to be reinstated. After 9th May, obviously, there will be a series of actions. But we are hopeful. We are hopeful that before 9th May, something drastic will happen that will result in the reinstatement of these 3. If not, like I said, we will stick true to the plan or the roadmap that the Secretary General outlined in his May Day speech to the entire nation.
He further gave details of a meeting and associate to Sunan Asogli, the Agbogbo Mafia of the Asogli State, Togbe Afede, held with the union on Friday, May 5, to find an amicable solution to their demands.
This afternoon, at the instance of Togbe Afede, a meeting was held between the TUC and representatives of Ghana Mine Workers Union and Togbe. In that meeting, he requested to intervene with a view to resolving the matter in an amicable way. But we have also indicated that by close of business on Monday, if we do not hear anything very substantial, from him, the TUC structures have made a decision for us to act accordingly. On May 9th, we would embark on the demonstration as planned.
Now, 2 persons have been arrested for posing as members of the ECG Revenue Mobilization Task Force, allegedly issuing disconnection notices and collecting monies. The 2 were arrested by the police alongside an ECG task force after an investigation following an official complaint lodged by an ECG customer. They are currently in the grips of the police and will be facing prosecution in the coming days. External Communications Manager of the ECG, Leila Abubakar, has been speaking on this matter.
The 2 suspects, Samuel Afo, 49, and Perike Asamoah, 38, were arrested at Kojukrom by the police after an ECG-led investigation following customer complaint. The 2 are currently in the grasp of the police and are expected to face prosecution in the coming weeks, according to the ECG. The External Communications Manager, Leila Abubakar, spoke to Citi News.
2 men were apprehended this morning by the police with the help of a customer who had alerted the ECG about a suspected fraudulent activity that 2 people had come to his premises with a notice requesting an amount of money from him. And so he sent us an alert, and then we put the police to it. Apparently, these men have been on it for a while, and we've actually been trailing them since we started our special revenue mobilization exercise. We heard that some people were going around taking monies on behalf of ECG when that wasn't the case. And so when we heard that these men were at the premises, we decided to put the police to it, and were able to make an arrest.
Are they the only few people you've heard of so far?
So far, these are the only two we've been able to apprehend, and we hope that customers who have encountered such would report to us so that we can make some arrangements with the police and national security to get on these. We know that there are some people who are out there posing with even ID cards that seem to be from ECG, but now that we have a staff portal for you to be able to verify on, please use our hashtag *266#.
The two arrested persons had fake ID cards and electrical tools which they use for their trade. After the month-long revenue mobilization exercise, which generated over 3 billion Ghana cedis for the power distributor, the task force has been directed to further follow up on the customers to curb illegalities. At a press conference held on Thursday, May 4, 2023, the managing director of ECG, Samuel Dubik Mahama, entreated customers engaged in any illegality to legally restore their meters to avoid arrest.
And that's our package of today's edition of the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Do remember that our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Citi Tube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Kweku Ediama, and Sami, thanks for your company.
Good evening, viewers. You are welcome to a brand new episode of Sister, and my name is Chris Carter. And you are watching us live on Citi TV and listening to us live on Citi FM 97.3. Not forgetting channel 363 on DSTV and 182 on GoTV. So if you're just joining us for the first time, this is that show that helps relieve all your frustrations that you face when it comes to relationships. It could be a relationship with your siblings, with your family, with your spouse, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, any sort of relationship. We help you relieve that stress and frustration. And of course, I'm not going to be doing that alone. We have our wonderful sisters that will be giving you advice on all your problems. Anyway, it's time for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be introducing the sisters and we'll get into our first story.